I figured I'd give you all a Friday prophecy, Friday, Bible study. Help to understand prophecy on this Friday afternoon. Well, if you look at Joel 2, it says, "The sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood before the great and terrible day of the Lord come." So is this an eclipse or what is this? Well, when does it happen? Well, let's look at Matthew 24. That tells us about the end times. Maybe it'll tell us when it happens. Matthew 24, verse 29. "Immediately after the tribulation of those days, the sun shall be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken." Well, that's when the lights go out. That's Jesus himself telling us when the lights go out, immediately after the tribulation of those days. So what's going on here? Well, if we look at Revelation 12, verse 6, "And the woman fled into the wilderness, where she hath a place prepared of God, that they should feed her there 1,260 days." How long is that? That's old King James talk. Well, that's 1,260 days. So the woman is going to go into the wilderness for 1,260 days. So let's see here. Let's go to Daniel chapter 12. "And from the time that the daily sacrifice shall be taken away, and the abomination that make a desolate set up, there shall be 1,290 days." This is 30 extra days. So what is going on in these 30 extra days? The woman's only going to be in the wilderness for 1,260, and there's 1,290. Well, the tribulation is 7 years. It's not 7 years and some extra time while they get to escape to the wilderness, and that doesn't count towards tribulation. If they're running for their lives to the wilderness, I'm pretty sure that's still the tribulation. So the tribulation is 1,260 days for the first half, 1,260 days for the second half. So they're going to be in the wilderness for 1,260 days, but then the lights go out at the end of that second half, at the end of the 1,260 days. And exactly what it says after this, and like say chapter 3, verse 7 of Joel, it says, "Behold, I will raise them out of the place where ye have sold them, and will return your recompense on your own head." So what's he going to do? He's going to bring them back. He's going to gather them. So do we see this in Matthew chapter 24? Yes. "He shall send his angels with the great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds from one end of heaven to the other." Matthew 24, verse 31. Lines exactly up with Joel. And you know what else he's going to do? Let's see what else Joel says. He's going to gather, chapter 3, verse 2, "I'll gather all nations, bring them into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and plead with them there." That's Armageddon. This is after the lights go out. So, what do we see in Matthew 24, verse 30? "And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And all the tribes of the earth will mourn." We know what happens when that sign comes. That's Revelation 19. That's wartime. We're coming back with them, and we're going to crush the enemy. So it lines exactly up, but this isn't an eclipse. This is a period of at least 30 days of darkness. And if you just read things like, it's in Ezekiel 38 and 39, basically what's going to happen is the enemy is going to be absolutely lost. They're going going to be like they're going to be like uh, harming each other. The enemy is, because it's going to be dark, and that's basically, I think that's what's happening. Is there's going to be supernatural darkness, and they're not going to be able to see. I will smite the bow. This is verse Ezekiel 39, verse 3. I will smite the bow out of the left hand, cause thy arrows to fall out of the right hand. Thou shalt fall upon the mountains of Israel. Uh, I will send a fire on Magog, those that dwell carelessly. So this is what happens. And it's probably supernatural darkness, because when he's bringing them back, so he can bring them back without, probably people attacking them, I'm sure, is what's going on. But, and just as you would expect when Jesus returns, it's not just going to be some regular old event where he just shows up on a horse or something, you know, just regularly. No, the sky's going to open. It's going to be completely pitch dark, and the sky's going to open, and the light's going to basically shine on him, and it's going to be a glorious return. So that's what's going on. You can read in like Zechariah. Let's go to Zechariah chapter 14. You can kind of see what's going on too. Verse 12, and this shall be the plague where the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away. Uh, verse 13, a great tumult from the Lord shall be among them. They shall lay hold, every one on the hand of his neighbor, and on his hand shall rise up against the hand of his neighbor. What's going on with this? They're grabbing each other, their neighbors, and slaughtering each other. Why do you think that is? Because they can't see. They're sitting there, attacking each other. And Judah will fight at Jerusalem, and the wealth of all the heathen round about shall be gathered together. And so I think in this, somehow God's going to raise up an army too during this time, and they're going to plunder those enemies at the end of the tribulation. During this time, they're going to be able to plunder them. Um, somehow they're going to have light. God's army is to be able to do that, but the enemy's going to be in like supernatural darkness, not be able to see. But that's how I see it. I mean, those two, that all lines up together. This isn't just some eclipse. When eclipses happen, they're like at most a few minutes. They're not. This is not an eclipse. This is the light actually going out, and it doesn't come back on until, I think, at the end of that, probably 1,290 days. Well, I know when it comes back on is when the sky opens, and the entire the entire probably the entire earth is going to see. They're gonna look up and see, whoa, there he is. That's going to be the event. So uh, hope you guys have a good Friday evening. Just wanted to share that. It's always good to learn. So pray for the events, that could be coming in recent days. It could get chaotic, especially if that Iran stuff goes down. That's a big deal. That could affect a lot of the world, with fuel and food and all types of stuff. So be praying about that. And have a good Friday. Thanks for watching.